Good morning and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna do a ranking roundup video of the new foundations that came out, I think in January. There's been a few and I've had so many questions like which one would you prefer, this one or this one? And I thought I would show you guys all the foundations applied on. I will do inserts of me applying the foundations and just give you my thoughts and opinions on all of these. I will rank them and I will also compare them to where's the other one? Two of my favorite foundations that I own right here. This is the Clé Peau and this is the Lisa Eldritch foundation. And I will apply those as well for you to see how they look on the skin and kind of how they compare. So if you guys are interested, please continue watching. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tanya. I'd love for you to subscribe down below if you enjoy this video. And let's get talking. I already finished my drink. Maybe we should get another one. So first of all, I want to talk just a little bit about my skin. I have more of a normal to dry skin type. Usually I'm just more of a light neutral, just tone wise. And I will link down below in my description box just a few shades in some of the more popular foundations. Now, I'm going to talk about this Clé Peau foundation. Oh, another thing, I don't struggle with a ton of wrinkles. I do have pores that sometimes I like to wear a pore filling primer. However, all the inserts that I'm going to put are me applying the foundation on just moisturized skin. And that's it. There's no pore filling, nothing. So I would say my main concerns are just to look like skin. I like usually a medium coverage, even light. As long as it sits on the skin nice, it just evens out my skin. I'm good. If it's buildable, it's even better, but I almost never ever use full coverage foundation. That way you guys kind of have an idea of what I like in foundations. Okay, so talking about Clé Peau just a little bit. This, I have discovered this, well, I guess last year, and it has quickly become one of my favorite foundations. It is a radiant foundation. This is the radiant foundation natural. It's not the matte version. However, I do want to try the matte because I have heard such great things about it. But I have used this probably the most out of all my foundations so far. Now, the problem with this one is I have it in a dark shade. This is 040 and I really needed 030 even when I'm self-tan. So this foundation is just when I'm like super dark in the summer, super self-tan, that's when I can wear it. I, however, will mix it with the Lisa Eldridge one and I get a beautiful shade. Now in the clip, you'll see that it looks very dark on me, and even it looking dark, it still looks pretty on the skin. This has a beautiful finish, light to medium coverage. I can build it up. It feels like skin. It lasts beautifully, and it's just my go-to foundation. I have to pick the 020. That way I have a light one and a dark one, and I can mix and match. But this foundation is definitely just overall my favorite foundation I own. However, this Lisa Eldridge foundation is kind of different than the other one. This is more of a natural finish, dare I say a little bit matte on the skin, and it gives me a medium coverage. I can build this up and I can actually make it look pretty light coverage, but the beauty with this foundation is that it lasts all day long. I have not worn a foundation that lasts better on me, and the Estee Lauder does not compare to this one. To me, this one becomes better. The more I wear it, the prettier it looks on the skin, and slowly it gets a little bit of a radiance to it, but it is not glowy. And then at the end of the day, I look in the mirror and I look like I just applied this foundation. This I would say is a foundation that if you're a makeup artist, this is beautiful for brides, for events. There's no SPF, there's no fragrance. It is just perfect. I'm not sure which one I like better because they're so different. But these two I wanted to mention before I got into the next four that I'm going to talk about, because these are kind of my top two favorite foundations I own, and I have used them so much. I know them really well, and they're very different, and I do enjoy a more matte one and a more radiant one. So starting in number 4, I will start with this one right here. This is the Dior Forever Skin Glow. And this actually did not wear bad on me. I wouldn't say that this is just such a terrible foundation. I've seen some pretty terrible reviews and it actually worked for me overall. The reason I'm placing this in number 4, there's a matte one as well, which I have not tried, but I really want to try it because I've heard good things about it, is because I could see it in my wrinkles and I could see it a little bit on my forehead, and I don't really have forehead wrinkles. There's just one right there that like sometimes foundation can get in there, but it's very rare, and around my smile line. And I felt like around my pores, it didn't look the best. From far away, I thought it was fine, and it didn't wear terrible either. I just didn't love the way it sat on the skin. It is radiant. I've heard other people complaining that this dried them out. I did not experience that. I actually thought it was nice on the skin. It just wasn't as good as the other ones. I do not think this is a terrible foundation. I have not tried the older versions. This is, by the way, in 2N, and it's good for when I'm lighter. And then, by the way, Lisa Eldridge, my perfect shade is number 11. It works when I'm more self-tan. It works when I'm not. It's just such a good shade. So this is just coming number 4 because I didn't love the way it sat on the skin. I felt like it got a little bit glowier. I did not think that it separated and it wore terribly, but I didn't love it around the pores, and I didn't love that it kind of looked like I was wearing foundation and kind of sat on my pores around my smile line. So I just don't think I would purchase this again because it was just okay. So those are my thoughts for that one. In number 3 comes this one. This is the Nars Foundation, and I have mine in Fiji. And this actually got the most compliments. I have worn this, I want to say 3 or 4 times. I try to really test these out as much as I could, and also give you guys a review sooner rather than later, in case, you have questions. And this one, I would say wore the worst out of all of them, but got the most compliments. What I like about this one, this is, by the way, this is the Light Reflecting Foundation. I'm so terrible at this. And did I say this is the Forever Glow, the Skin Glow from Dior? That's what I'm talking about. So this one, it says that it has like skincare properties. Let's first say that all of these supposedly have skincare properties. How I feel about that is I'd rather pay less and buy my own skincare rather than pay more for something that there's probably such a small amount. They will not probably make a difference in the long term. I would rather take that money and invest it in a good skincare rather than invest it in a foundation. But it's not a bad thing. So yes, all of these supposedly are so good for your skin. I've seen so many reviews talking in details about what's in these, so I'm not going to go into all that, but I'm going to talk about how this wore. So this, when I put it on, it looked so beautiful. It had a radiance. It had just such a beautiful finish. I went out and I worked and everybody was like, wow, your skin looks so beautiful. And I would say like after 30 minutes, it looked even better. So I would get so many compliments. Once I hit that 6-hour mark, it is all going down. it is starting to just separate around my nose. On the upper lip, you can really see the foundation, and it's just a mess after that. And I wore it when I did work out, and I did a full review on that. I did a full review on all of these, but I also wore it just as a day-to-day foundation, and it does not wear well. However, I love the finish of this. I think it has such a beautiful finish. It works with my skin. I do like the color. Initially, I thought it was just like a little bit off, but it meshes really well with my skin. It is extremely wet when you put it on, and then once it dries, you feel like, oh my gosh, you got a really bad shade. But it works with my skin. So if you are interested in this, make sure you let the foundation set, to dry down, and then pick a shade, because it does dry down really dark. So I just really loved the way it looked initially, even around my pores, even for a more luminous foundation. I thought it looked nice. With a pore filling primer, it looked so much better than without one. But again, it does not wear well. So if I just have not much to do, I just need to go out for some groceries and come back, and that's my day, I probably would pick this up. But it's not for a full day of work or anything like that. In number 2 comes the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. It is actually what I'm wearing right now, and I have mine in 4N, and I really like this shade. I think it's just a beautiful undertone. I tried the number 3N, and that was pretty yellow. So I think this is a beautiful foundation. It is a little bit creamier and thicker compared to all of these. I just dropped it. Got it. All right, compared to all of these, I think this is the thickest one. So when I put it on, like I feel it, and it's just creamy. I think it looks really pretty on the skin. It gives me a little bit more coverage than my number 1, which you probably know by now which one it is, but it is a true medium coverage. The problem I have with this one is that you cannot build it up. At least on me, I've experienced that it starts looking cakey and heavy. So you put one good layer and you're done. If you try to go and build it up, I think it starts looking a little bit heavy, a little bit cakey. It looks like foundation on your skin. And I will say that I'm wearing this one, but I almost feel like I'm wearing a foundation. It doesn't feel like skin. I feel like, okay, I know I'm wearing foundation. I am aware of that. So because of those 2 reasons, it came number 2. However, it is so beautiful on the skin. It is so the pores look so beautiful. It does not get around my fine lines at all. It does look almost like a filter. It has a beautiful finish. I would say it's a glowy-ish finish. It's not like super glowy, but it's definitely radiant, but it wears really well. It does not become too glowy throughout the day, so it kind of stays similar to how you put it on. So I really enjoy this foundation. My sister tried it and she actually loved this one the most out of all of them. But for me, I kind of have to be aware of how much I'm putting on, and I just feel like I'm wearing a foundation just a little bit just too creamy, like thicker consistency. I really like the liquid ones that kind of just like mesh into the skin and you don't feel like you have anything on. So this is the number 2. Number 1 definitely goes to Chanel number 1. Number 1. This is my kind of foundation. I just fell in love with this one the second I applied it. I recorded it. It's on camera. I did a full wear test, and it just looked so good on the skin. Initially blurred my pores. It's like it erased everything. It is like skin. It is not heavy at all. It it just is perfect. It is light to medium coverage, but you can build this up. Compared to Charlotte Tilbury, you cannot build this up too much. I feel like it looks a little bit heavy. This one you can build up and build up and build up, and it does not look heavy. You can get a good medium coverage. I felt like I did not want more coverage than what this gave me, and it was just so beautiful. It wore all day, and this was just such an impulse buy. I had a bad day. I looked up Ulta. Like, I don't even look up at Ulta much, and I saw that this was available, and I just went and picked it up and came home and recorded it, and I just have loved this foundation. This foundation you can wear as a light coverage, just like putting on with your hands, or you can build it up with a brush, and it just looks so beautiful. Absolutely does not get into any fine lines, any pores. It blurs your skin. It is definitely like a filter. And my color I really like is B30. I think it is a beautiful color. I'm so glad I found this foundation. This and this kind of remind me of each other. This, I would say, is just a little bit more radiant than the Chanel, but they kind of remind me of each other. It's one of those, like, you don't feel like you're wearing foundation, and you thought this was expensive. This is, I think, $70, but this is $130. So that's a lot of money. But definitely out of all of them, without a doubt, for me, Chanel is just my favorite. It's such a big surprise. I love the packaging too. It has the CC at the top. I just think it's so sleek, so elegant. It's definitely something that I look forward to wearing. I just think it's sleek and it just makes me happy. So those are the foundations I've tried this month. I feel like there's been so many good ones. I definitely enjoyed, honestly, the Dior one is the one that I enjoyed the least, obviously. And I would say I wouldn't go back to repurchasing it. But the other ones, I do enjoy them. And again, even though Nars does not last well, if I know it's just kind of like an easy day, I just have to wear makeup just a little bit, I think the finish is stunning. And mostly from further away, people are like, wow, you look so healthy. And yes, the Chanel is a big win. Most people go for this one. They seem to just absolutely love it. And it's just like on initial application, they're like in love. And I do love it. I think my skin looks so good, so healthy, not too heavy. So it is a beautiful one, but definitely it's my baby. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Andrew definitely brought me another one. And this is so good. I went to a restaurant with my sister. She did leave after like a month and a week. She was supposed to be here for 3 weeks and she ended up saying 5 weeks. But we went and we had this drink and I took a picture of the menu and Andrew recreated it and it is so good. Yeah, I feel like every time he makes it, it gets better and better. It's definitely my weakness now. I'll have him insert the details about it right here. That way, if you're interested. But definitely, it's just a strawberry drink. We actually had it with raspberry, but I like it better with strawberry. So anyway, yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. And I will see you guys in my next video.